Uh, I don't want to put you on the spot back, Mr. Williams, but
Oh yeah, yeah.
so you had okay, I'm quiet. You said you had a interesting story or a story to share. So
Oh man, I went through some drama this week.
uh-oh.
I didn't expect it to be drama, but well, you know what? I didn't expect it to be, but only because I didn't think about it. But
Mhm.
usually in these situations, some things go astray because emotions are high. So I had
Mhm.
an aunt that passed away
Okay.
on the 19th.
Sorry for your loss.
Right. So got to fly out to Chicago for the funeral, and the trip was it was a bunch of us. Cause like we have an LA group, we have pods in our family. LA group, a Texas group, a Chicago group, an Alabama group, a Florida group, a Tennessee group, right? So the LA group is flying out together. Me and my wife missed our flight, so we had to wait a couple hours layover. That's my
Ooh.
fault. But eventually we get there. We get there a couple hours later. The family picks us up. It's cold in a mug in Chicago right now.
Ooh.
Man, have you ever been in snow?
I once in my life, and it
Once?
hurts.
It hurts. It feels
Yes,
bad.
because it penetrates through everything, and then your limbs are just cold and hurting.
Yeah, like your fingers, your ears,
Yeah,
your
yeah, yeah,
feet.
yeah,
They,
yeah.
they just start being like, I'm not. It feel like they like, I'm not doing this. I'm out of here. You handle it. You handle the body.
Yeah.
They like turtle into your skin or something, and then they don't work anymore. So yeah, that's what the thing was when we got there. We were a little prepared. We wore layers, right?
Right.
Right. We wore layers. All right, so we
Okay,
wore
wait,
layers.
let's pause for those that don't know what layers are, because I think I got it. So layers, like you had like a sweater on top of a sweater, and
Man, I had you got a t-shirt, a thermal, and a button up, and a hoodie with a big jacket over the hoodie. That's that's
and wait, and then the cold penetrated that.
bruh. The code was like Tyson rib shots.
Oh man.
The code was like Tyson rib shots. It was like I see this every day. I see this every day. Pop, 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 pop. And we had gloves.
Oh my god! Because I'm like,
Two pair of socks.
I'm in my room chilling, and it's like when you said that, I'm like, I got hot. Like, okay,
Before I did the show, I literally came from the airport. I tried to sit down for a second, then I had to start setting up to do this, and then started. Right before we started, I was like, I got 2 pair of sweatpants on under my jeans. That's why I'm hot right now. I was just sitting here like, why am I hot? I forgot that I went to the airport in layers. So I'm sitting back in Cali on my couch. I got 2 pair of sweatpants on. And it's like, damn. All right, so I just realized that before we came in. But yeah, that was a little tough. I've been in it before, but it's been a long time.
I don't think you could ever get used to that.
Nah, I don't think
I
so
love
either.
the cold, but I don't like to be warm either. So it's like
Everybody there complaining too. We just all complaining. They don't even know I'm from somewhere
well,
else. 'Cause
you're
we complaining
California.
the same.
California.
We
If
spoiled.
if that weather's like 71, it's a complaint.
Yep.
You know,
We were on a plane back. Like, yeah, we're approaching Los Angeles. The temperature is about 70 degrees, and I was like, oh my god, please! It was so exciting. It was such an exciting. All right. So we get to the airport. It's cold. We all got an Airbnb. Airbnb had a few rooms, so all 6 of us could stay there.
okay.
Airbnb was trash, yo. First of all, it was on the 3rd floor of like there's a name for them. Just a 3rd floor of a 3-story brick complex. Six units, 3 on each side.
Mm-hmm.
We get in there. It's cold in the Airbnb. Only like in every room there's a radiator. Only like 2 of them work.
Ooh.
So we get in there and we just still gonna be cold and we go freeze. And then luckily, also the TV didn't work. I wish I had this lady's contact because I would blast her right now. I wish I had her Airbnb stuff pulled up because I got some stuff to say to her. I would try to find it and send this video. It was the Airbnb was trash. Toilets clogged up. No, not a good plunger in the building. Radiator's not working. TV is just leaning up against the fireplace. It got a Roku connected to it, but the Roku don't connect to the internet, and it doesn't have a remote, and so you can't connect it to the internet. What else was happening? There's no instructions to take the trash out. We don't know where the trash cans are, so we was just stacking trash out on the patio, trying to figure. And we were on the 3rd floor, so I'm assuming to take the trash out, you got to walk down the outside deck to a trash can. I'm just assuming that because she didn't tell us we had to do that, but the outside deck steps they were made out of wood. They were frozen. I picked up a trash bag one time and stepped on one of the steps, and it was like, and it was just a no for me. It's not something that's about to happen. But anyway. All right, so Airbnb trash.
So I don't want to twist the knife in you a little bit. So with all that, and you paid for this?
Yeah, we paid good money. Oh, my bad. Yeah, we paid good money to stay there. And we couldn't get in. My cousin is the one who arranged everything. She couldn't get in contact with the lady. She was leaving voicemails about the radiators, about the Roku. No, I don't think we heard from her from Wednesday to Sunday. not a peep.
I'm like, okay, you're on the 3rd floor. That's a problem for me. It almost sounds like you guys were like brick by brick. My mom talked about that, and that the brick by brick is like in New York is the J, so something like that. So
we were like in the Hyde Park area.
Okay. And
yeah, so it wasn't in the hood or anything. I think it was close to where, but like Chicago, like all Chicago buildings are built the same for the most part.
Everything goes in the air.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a level that goes down, and then if you rich enough, you got levels that go up. They all built the same, and the spacing of it is about, unless you live in like a big apartment unit, and there's not too many of those.
That what saddens me about that the story that you're sharing with us, and the Airbnb are not cheap.
Nah,
and the TV didn't work, but.
That cleaning fee be like $150 every time for no reason.
Here, so I'm trying to use the words differently in my vocabulary, but you telling me there wasn't no remote? Remote control to the TV.
That's easy, right?
A thing in some type of testament.
And she knew there wasn't a remote because she left. If you can't find the remote, download the TV app. So it ain't no remote, because why would you even put that in something that people are staying there? But look, this is why that sucked, because we downloaded the TV app. So the internet is trash also. That's what we got to mention. So we connect to the internet, and we're like, oh, let's search for the device, the Roku device. Guess what? The Roku device ain't online. Guess what we can't do? We can't get the Roku device online because we don't have a remote. And so therefore, that whole instruction or workaround is useless.
For this young lady, I'm gonna act like she's watching. How dare you write a BS note knowing that remote wasn't there? You sending people on the journey, and you knew that remote wasn't there.
It was people like, yo, maybe it's in the couch. And I was kind of like, it's not here because she told us it wasn't here.
I'm like, you're supposed to be going to a service and your family went to go play Jumanji. Like, like where is the remote in this house? And there's no remote There's no remote to be found. She sent y'all on a wild goose chase from the jump. She need her butt whoops for playing in these streets.
That is hilarious. You don't send a note about if you can't find the remote unless you know the remote.
Let me tell you how serious the remote control is to black people. A remote control is dead on serious. We will take batteries out of other things to put in a remote to make it work. Like we will kidnap batteries out of other things and put it in a remote. You will tear the house up to find the remote. You will call your kids to come to give you the remote. Like, the remote control is dead serious business. And she just knew that there was no remote.
She absolutely knew. She knew. That's what the note was for.
Your Chicago experience has been a disaster.
So far. And this, the plot thickens.
Oh, there's more? I'm listening.
Oh, you thought that was the story? It's parts of the story I'm gonna leave out for the benefit of the people involved because they family. I'm not gonna talk about parts of the story, but I'm gonna skim about this one part because it's very vital to the reason we went out there and how that went. Right?
I'm listening.
And I think people will relate to this because when you have situations like this with a lot of family together, flying out to a funeral, there's in the immediate family, there's transactions going on.
Okay.
Things getting handed down. Mm-hmm. Things getting divvied up. Emotions are high. Aspirations are high. All right, so we go to my aunt's funeral. It was a good service. I enjoyed it. It was a little too long. I'm not, maybe because like nobody's a fan of funerals. You don't want to be there. It's a couple hours. But it was great. Nothing to complain about other than the time. Okay. Nothing that happened during the service was
good reminiscence.
Right.
Reminiscent.
Cool.
I think the funerals could get that long when they allow people to go up there and talk. I think that's
not what happened. I don't necessarily know what the why it was long. There was just a lot of things to get through. It wasn't necessarily people talking or being long with it. Mm-hmm. But it was just a long script basically. The itinerary was long. Or maybe they planned for it to be short and it ended up longer than they thought. So no fault on anybody, right?
Okay.
So, all right, I have to try and word this delicately because I don't want to say who and who and who and who, right?
Yeah.
But one of my aunt's children is the person that inherited the house.
Okay.
So usually after a funeral, you go to the, person's house, everybody hangs out, talks, have family time. You try and get the anxiety off, the pressure.
You can do a repast there. You can do.
There you go. That's the word. That's the word that. That's the word that I was thinking, but I wasn't gonna just necessarily say it, right? So that was like canceled off top. Not surprise. Not as a surprise, but it was just canceled. Like it never was gonna happen. But some of the siblings of the person who passed wanted to get together and do that. So they went back to my aunt's house for a makeshift repast, which is fine. All right, so it seemed like some people knew it was a bad idea. We get there, and the person who is now in ownership of the house, who's a daughter of my aunt, thought. And look, let me give this disclaimer. I understand what it's like to lose no, I don't. I don't understand what it's like to lose a parent. I understand that she lost a parent. And that, you might not always be in your right head or your emotions might not be together. But basically, right, she kicked everybody out. in loud and exorbitant fashion.
Like literally. So when y'all came over, you guys were removed.
It was good for like 3 minutes, right? We came over. We were thinking about, what food should we order? She was making suggestions. Then we got to the point where people started sitting on the couch. Everybody's gathered around. And it seemed like it just switched. Like she got on the phone with somebody. Like I said, we wasn't having no repast. Now these people here, you know what that sounds like, right? And so then I was like sitting there like, ooh, I think we need to leave. And so that escalated into her yelling at siblings. Everybody sitting there uncomfortably. Cuss words getting thrown. Arguments getting escalated. Yeah. I'm already standing up telling people. I'm trying to convince my cousin that we needed to leave, but she really wanted to be there because this was her grandmother, and she kind of wanted to, maybe take some sentiments or just be in the environment that she knows her grandmother's house. She wasn't, she wasn't hearing me like let's leave, but it got to the point where everybody was like, okay, we leaving. So that was the biggest drama. It doesn't sound dramatic because I have to leave so much shit out.
I'm the master of reading between the lines, so I already know that something was said. Mm-hmm. I already know it might have been a chair thrown. It might have been some
you know what? Nothing got violent. Here, I'll just like give you this tidbit. Like, does your mom have a sister?
Yes.
All right. Imagine your mom passing and your mom's sister comes to her house afterwards and you kick her out.
And I kick her sister. I kick her sister out.
You kick your aunt out the house.
Oh, that's a bad thing.
Right. So that's all. That was that story. That's that story, and that's what I got from it.